Ooh. Oh, A. So you see this different version? I look kind of crazy. Well, not as crazy as usual, but I just got back from hiking. Yeah. So I was able to test the mini model a couple days ago. Like that worked. So now I'm deciding on the larger data set. Mm, need my notes. I don't really remember exactly where I left off, but we'll see. Okay, cool. I need to shave and stuff for sure. All right. Clean space. Old models go through refining current. I need to shave and stuff for sure. Whoops. These are my notes. Clean space. Old models. Oh, okay. So I'm telling myself I need to clean the space, like the disk space on the computer. Yeah. So like that's I always try to leave off each coding session with what I need to do next. What was I doing? I could have sworn that I did the disk clean, meant to do, and then old models. So what I meant by that is like these things in here I want to get rid of. I'm actually going to do it from the Finder. So I don't want to get rid of anything that I actually need. But there's a decent amount of old models that I don't think I need in here. I want to delete all this other stuff before. Mm. I'm actually not going to delete this right now. You know something I was trying to actually I probably should have done this beforehand. Yeah, I should have done this beforehand. Sorry. I was gonna figure out how to do something where like I could pull up stuff on the side, but we'll figure that all out later. I'm just gonna kind of like spitball what I'm thinking about right now. So just have this for documentation's sake. So I am getting pulled in a couple different directions right now. The first direction is macro, long term, training the model for scale. The other direction is granular, focusing on financial information, investment information, SEC data, really being of value to the current users on the app. And the question is, for right now, for an MVP version of the AI model, what is the desired response? I do not entirely know the answer to this question, but I'm gonna write down what I just thought about. Give me a second. Go through refining current. Okay, that's my. I should have. I usually put an X behind next to what I've done, and I didn't do the last part. Go through refining current corpus for 5K examples. All right, that's what I should have done next. That's kind of where I arrived to. But give me 1 second. The ideal response for now is similar to what I've seen in GPT. I want a chatbot that can respond to the given prompts and be of value to the user, not just a PDF or printout. It needs to be a conversation. Okay. So, like, I don't want a model that just responds and then coughs back up a response. Yeah, I don't have the chat up. Not that there's anything in there, but you never know. Alright. Go through and refine current model for 5,000 examples. Use a format that works well for training. Sure. We'll take a full data set. Let's give it. So the sample that it's giving is like, what are tips for investing in your 20s? Okay, that might be a reasonable question someone could ask. And the response is, start early to benefit from compound interest. Prioritize low-cost investment funds. Build an emergency fund before high-risk investing. Hold on, I should change some of these tags to finance stuff. Wait, finance. Oh, you only have 10 tags. Hold on. Alright, sure. English. Finance, investing. So I actually don't like that answer. I'm gonna copy and paste this. How would I answer this question? Or how would I want the model to answer this question? What are your tips for investing in your 20s? Start early to benefit from compound interest. I would say start early, but not to benefit from compound interest. To learn your thesis. Start early to learn your investment thesis, your risk thresholds, threshold, and your. So risk tolerance and risk thresholds are kind of the same thing. To learn your investment thesis, define your risk factors, risk threshold, risk tolerance. I like that better. And I would say determine your goals. Determine your goals. I'm gonna leave it like goals, not short-term, long-term goals, but that's it. Number 2. Oh, my bad. Start early to learn. Yeah, okay. Prioritize low-cost investment funds. I would say prioritize investments that align with your thesis. I would say prioritize investments that align with your insights and experiences gained in step 1. Definitely. Build an emergency fund before high risk investing. Definitely. I'll just keep that number 3. Avoid emotional investing. Stick to your plan. Actually, I'll keep that too. So those are good examples. whatever reason, sometimes it's just easier for me to type with my eyes closed. Um, so what I'm gonna do now. All right. So what I'm gonna do now is get another sample, mini sample from the data set and reformat those into the responses like I just shared. And then hopefully train the model with that smaller reformatted data set. And if that works, then hopefully go through, reformat the entire data set based on that script and train the new, hopefully prototype, production ready model for deployment in the app. So it's like, I'm not close, but I'm not far away either. That's why I feel it's like I'm kind of like in the middle. It's like I'm too far to turn back, but I'm still far away enough that I don't feel that close. But the good news is that it did work when we did the small mini data set and trained that and tested it. That all worked. So I know that works. So now I just need to work on reformatting the data set, the smaller set, correctly so that it produces better results. So that's what I'm working on right now. Yay, so much fun. I'm having so much fun. This is the love of my life. I'm just so passionate and so I'm good, man. How are you? One day at a time, you know. One day at a time. Making it happen. Slowly but surely. Slowly. Not necessarily sure. Slowly. Alright. This is what I want. Yeah. Or on a beach. A beach is also a nice way to live a life. I'm not gonna lie to you. Progress. How is the progress? You know, progress is a subjective word. You know, what's progress to someone else, I feel like not that to someone. uh, nah, it's good, honestly. Like I said, I'm happy that I was able to fix out any bugs with like that smaller data set. Uh, so that worked, and I was able to train the model, and then I got, I don't even know if I copied the response, but it was, I forgot what the response said. It said something, and it wasn't HTML code. So it's like I got a good response, a better response than I was getting before with this smaller data set. So now I'm just going back and I'm trying to identify or reformat a smaller data set to then train again and then test it to make sure that I get even better results, hopefully. And then once I get that, once I get that, then hopefully I can then use the full data set, reformat that, train the model, get the big bad boy or bad girl, however you want to put it, model. But yeah, I just I don't know, like sometimes it's good to step away from this stuff. Where am I at? I don't even know what I'm doing. Oh, there it is. So yeah. Like I said, I went on a good hike today with the kids and stuff. Like you gotta get outside. I like being outside, and so like I don't know, um, it just put things in perspective. You know, like you always think you're moving so fast to try to get somewhere, but is that really where you want to go, kind of a thing? So I've been telling myself to be more patient. I've been telling other people that I'm being more patient, and that's kind of like why I've been taking the path that I've been taking with customers that we have right now, with people that I have to interact with the business and all that stuff. Like, I emailed a guy today, an investor today, who's just kind of explaining, like, hey, if you need help with this, I can help you out, etc. Um, you know, just talking to them and then the funds and all that. Like, hey, this would be much easier if you do it this way. And so it's like I still have that touch point with people that have been on the website or been on the app already. At the same time, like I have this bigger vision of what I'm trying to do. So yeah, I hear you on that. But sometimes like you can bang your head against the same wall over and over and over and over and over and over and over, and you have to get outside or have to get away from it in order to like have some perspective. And then as soon as you get that perspective, it's like that 15 minutes or so that you took to kind of get out of your space, that helps you. This is sorry, I'm messing with the this mod thing. All right, cool. Hopefully that works. All right, cool. Yeah, I don't 100% know what I'm doing with this Twitch stuff, but I'm working on it. I could have sworn that. Mm, but yeah, so and even like I was telling myself, like it's not the technology is not the product. The user experience is the product. Taking a user from A to Z, from A to B, from wherever that is, that's the product. I'm showing this just because like I'm working on the thing, but like if I went to, I think we're streaming right now. It should be on the website. If I went to the website, hopefully it's streaming. It's there. I'll put that on mute. But again, it's already muted. It's showing work that's been done, work that's being done. Same thing with the app. Like if I was, what is it? App Store, App Store, Game Best. Same thing. Like I'm not ignoring these users. I could literally bring out my laptop and show the update for that, or show the back end for that. I just genuinely believe that what I'm working on here is just as important, especially long term. Like, I have been on this AI wave for a while, and I think that it offers an opportunity, especially in the finance space. Yeah, it's too large. So, especially in the finance space. So, I am being intentional about building something great that can really help people and obviously help myself. I don't want to lie. I definitely. And I was thinking, like, when I was just talking to ChatGPT, like, I'm not selling, hey, I'm some wealthy guy, come follow me and be wealthy. That's not what I'm selling. What I'm selling is that I have an expertise, I have experience, that I can create something and also provide services to help you from wherever it is that you're at to improve that. I mean, we put over 130 million dollars into real estate deals and startup deals. I don't even know how many investors that is. It's like 500 some plus. I still stay in touch regularly with most of these people. Most of the same funds are still servicing the same investors on the platform. Same kids downstairs being loud. Consistency, you know what I mean? But I am hopefully becoming much more comfortable about running the company the way that I want to run it, communicating the way that I want to communicate. Like, I want to play more music. I tried to play something music the other day, and I think it got copyright struck down. So, like, whatever. But I'm waiting on some food to arrive. So depending upon when that gets here is depending upon how long my stay in front of the seat is gonna be. But I okay, here we go. Yeah, I don't know. I just my preference is just to run things in Jupyter Notebook versus like a full-on Python script, unless it's the actual building of the model or something like that. But and maybe that's why it's asking me to do that. But shoot, I might have messed up. I actually probably do need to do that in a script. All right, hold on. I wish I would. I wish I would. Extract, instruct, data set. All right. So put this in there. Save that there. Such and such and such. still trying to run this in Anaconda. Jupyter Notebook. What was I doing? Anaconda. Activate chatbot. All right. I do feel like I'm onto something right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know what exactly it is. I won't lie about that either. But I do feel like I'm onto something. And it's like AI, it's generative, it's fintech. Like a financial chat GPT is what I've been thinking lately. Like a financial chat GPT. I don't know why I just don't like. Yeah, hold on. Let me lock in. Let me lock in. I'm really. Hold on. Okay. I don't think I've ever really been good at. I was gonna say like structuring my project directory, something like that. All right, let's see how this goes. So right now I'm isolating 5,000 examples from the data set. Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. I love AI. It just makes things so much easier. I mean, before what I was doing is just like researching code and then getting a sample code or looking at GitHub. I was looking at GitHub all the time. And I would get sample codes from GitHub and then obviously configure them for whatever it is that I was doing. That's essentially what I used to do before using like AI or ChatGPT or something like that. I don't know. I think a lot of coding is just troubleshooting and kind of figuring out what works for you. This is, what is this doing? This is parsing and creating the samples that align with the example that I gave. Process the file. Okay, yeah. This might take a while, honestly. This might take a while. I'm gonna give until. I am going to give until such time that my food gets here. If my food gets here before this stops, I'm going to eat. I'll leave it on there just so you can know, and I'm gonna look at it on stream. But I'm not sitting here while my chicken makni is. Heck, I need that right now. Yeah, nah, I need that. Yeah, definitely not. I need that in my life right now. I'm hungry. I gotta get my masala on. Indian food is a great work. Indian food, any kind of Chinese food. Mexican food is too messy in my opinion. You can't eat Mexican food while you're working. The data set, the size of it is like 60, 69, like 69 gigs. It's like a crazy data set. I combined the Gutenberg data set and Open Web Text 2. It was like the OpenAI data set that was used for GPT-2, I think. I'm trying to build a pretty like robust model, so that's why I did that. Now, I'm not saying that was the right decision or that I was smart to do that. I'm just saying that's what I did. I'm not saying I'm a whiz kid over here making the right decisions. I'm just kind of like feeling my way through it. But I do genuinely want a very robust model, even for the MVP. So that's why I did that. And that's my goal. Like I want something that's even just in an MVP phase can look like it can compete with ChatGPT. Oh, cool, nice. Yeah, no, I work with yeah, I like Indian foods. That's what yeah. I try to be like culturally agnostic in that sense. Like, yeah, I mean, like I lived in Japan, and Indian food was one of the most consistent foods that I could get over there. It sounds weird to say that, but like I knew what I was getting when I was eating Indian food in Japan. I know that sounds crazy, but like it's true. So yeah, but yeah, no, I was talking to someone recently who's based in India or was working with a firm that was based in India that was doing something with AI, and I'm totally drawing a blank on what it was. I don't want to misrepresent what he said. But yeah, no, I work with like an Indian firm too for like data entry. I've been working with them for 4 or 5 years. They're really helpful. Like they help me with all of our like tax stuff. Like when we have taxes, people that need to complete like their Schedule Ks and all that stuff, or they've helped me with like really large like data sets and stuff like that I've had to format. Like they've helped me with that stuff a lot. So yeah, the internet's great for that. Like you connect people from all over the world. Um, Only thing though is the time difference. It's kind of like I don't know what time it is in India right now, but like that's always not really been a big issue. But like you have to, I'm kind of demanding, so like if I want something, I want it now, and I have to remind myself like they might be sleeping, they might not be able to listen to what I'm talking about. All right, so something was delivered. I have two things on the way, so I'm gonna give. The Indian food is here, so this is still working. I'll bring the camera down so at least you can check this out, and I'll try to stay up on chat. But yeah, exactly. So, which isn't too bad. So it's like it just depends. I'll be honest. Like some people have a motor. Like I work almost like 24/7. Like I sleep. I do take time off. I watch movies. I plan to watch movies. I don't really wait. Hold on. I did watch a movie last night. What movie did I watch last night? I'm not leaving until I remember the movie that I watched last night. I watched a movie last night. It was like I try to watch a movie at least once a week. That's why I decompress. What movie did I watch last night? Wait, Made. All right, it's a sequel. John Favreau and Vince Vaughn movie called Made. It's a sequel of Swingers. I don't even know why I'm talking about this movie right now. I'm just saying that I work a lot, and sometimes that time difference for me it doesn't really matter, but for some people like who have more like traditional hours, like it's 12:30 now here, it's 10:30 in India p.m. Like some people might have an issue if I like emailed them and they're in India at 10:30 and I'm like, hey, I need this in an hour, versus some people might not. But all right, so this is still loading. I'm gonna pull this down here. I'm gonna go eat my food. Hopefully this works. Just to recap what we're doing right now, making a smaller subset of the larger data set that's formatted better than what was done before with all this HTML code and stuff like that, whatever was going on in those data sets. Formatted better to give the proper responses for things like what should I be investing in my 20s, or what should I be focused on, or how about this investment, etc. Hopefully give better answers, test that, train that, test that. Hopefully that all works. And then reformat the entire larger data set and using that same script, train the big 1 billion parameter model, and hopefully be able to test that and deploy that in the app and the website. And then make a whole lot of money. No, I was kidding. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to put this down so you can kind of check this out. So hopefully you can see it. Put my big old noggin in the screen. Let me point here. Can you see this? Is that, yeah, you can see that? Yeah, you can see that. So what we want is for this to turn into a number. When that turns into a number, this step is done. All right? I'm going to go eat some food, and you let me know when that changes into a number. I'll be looking on stream. I'm just joking about that, but I will be back. And so don't feel like I'm being boring or something like that, but I kind of am. But like I said, I'm going to eat my food and also check on my kids. Both of those are important. I won't say which order of importance, but both are important. So again, we're waiting on this number, this to change into a number. That means that step is done, and then finish out training. Finish out saving this smaller data set and then training a smaller model on the smaller data set that's hopefully reformatted correctly and give us better chances. All right. that there, put that there. Zoom out a little bit. I don't know how I had this frame before. Alright. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I used I don't even remember if I paid for that Udemy course or not. Oh. Alright, so this finished extracting things. Oh, hold on a second. That's not good. That's not good. It didn't actually create any samples. Hold on. That's crazy. I don't know. I still am not 100% sure if I got the right. If I got the right data sets, because that just doesn't make sense to me. Open Web Text 2 is the data set that I'm supposed to have. I'm either gonna have to like create a new data set, which isn't the worst thing, but I just don't feel like doing it. I'm trying to figure out how to like format this correctly. Okay, there we go. I was trying to see how long I've been streaming. Alright, so I've been streaming for like an hour or so. Yes? Can you help him and not make a mess, please? See, that's daddy stuff right there. You gotta think to yourself. In your mind, it's like, do I want the little one to go get the goal? Yes. Don't make a mess. I'm gonna chill on the daddy victory lap until we make sure that doesn't get messy. Alright, hold on. Little. That's what I'm saying. Dude, I'm gonna have to get a whole new data set. I'm already seeing this. This is just not gonna be. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a whole new data set. Yo, I am gonna start selling these. I built like a website to sell them. I just haven't like linked it yet. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna write it on my list of things to do. I'm writing it right now. Wait for it. I'm gonna write it right down. I'm writing it down right now. Sell hoodies. There we go. Got it. In my list of things to do. I'm just gonna start. I'm gonna put the link in the Twitch and then put the link in the website. I guess I don't know. You know, get that merch revenue. Why not? All right. So I think I'm gonna start hunting for a new data set because I'm not 100% sure what I should do right now. saying? Um, I kind of messed up. I already deleted. Yeah. Yeah. I already deleted. I already deleted. I'm regretting deleting files right now. I should have kept those files. They were pretty big. Alright, hold on. Let me go back to. Hmm. Gotta take like a couple deep breaths right now just to. Hey, guys, keep it down. I think I deleted it. Let me see. Yeah. I'm trying to find this data set. I deleted it previously. I think I'm gonna delete. Sheesh. Actually, not. Yeah, that would make sense. I'm being stubborn. Thanks. Yeah, I could do that. I should do that. All right, I did. I just sent the message I didn't want to send, but I appreciate it. Yeah, you're right. I could just use GPT for the thing. Yeah, I have a thing like that. It's like when I set my mind on something, or like I have a way of I'm trying to do it. It's really difficult for me to like pivot or get off of that. So like, I used this certain data set before. I see the file that I had before. I see the file. I even used it in the configuring before earlier. So I'm trying to find that same file, that exact same file. And I remember Hugging Face. That's why I'm kind of looking at this. Yeah, it's right here. So it kind of works. So yeah, I've kind of found it. Now the question, what I'm trying to remember is how do I unzip this thing? No, that's not it. Did I download that? Sorry. Oh, this saying it's gonna take 45 minutes to download this file right now. This is why I need to be able to do like those reaction things. Let me see if I can make this work. I'm gonna try something out. Yeah, I don't even know how to do this. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't have anything running in the background. It's just gonna take a bit. Alright, I'm actually gonna do something else in the meantime while this thing is working on, because it is showing me a smaller data set that I can use, and it's properly formatted for what I want to do. So I'm gonna do that. What is this? I'm just gonna use the same one. I don't feel like starting a new notebook. I'm having so much fun. I'm so happy coding. This is just such a great experience. It's just so great to be creative and have your dreams and ideas come to fruition. It's just such a great. I'm so happy about this. I'm so excited, so ecstatic. This is just such a great. Okay, cool. Nah, that's actually. I'm being a little like tongue in cheek, because this is a part of the misery I think that happens when you're creating something. But the feeling of like putting something into someone's hands that makes them go like, wow, like this is a creative idea, or showing them something, or showing them something that helps them. At the end of the day, that is worth it. All right, so I do have a smaller data set now. I'm I gotta make a note for myself. Hold on a second. Be sure to go back and use the full Gutenberg and open web text. Cause like I'm downloading the yeah, it is fun sometimes. I'm downloading the web text data set, but I still want to go get the Gutenberg one later. I'm just gonna make sure that this works. The formatting part of it works. Then I'm gonna download the open web text, make sure that formatting works, train on that, see where I'm at, and then potentially go back and do the Gutenberg, and then go from there. And I might just do it like that instead of putting together a bunch of stuff. Yeah. Errors. Errors aren't the worst thing. It's the same error that's the worst thing. Errors can sometimes help you like debug and get to a solution. So like I'm okay. Like the best is when you get an error, then you fix it, and then I mean, it's not the best. You want it to work perfectly, but then like if you get a different error, like that's okay. But if you get an error and then you do a fix and you get the same error, then you do a fix and you get the same error, then you do a fix and you get the same error. that's that's when you're just like going nuts. You just like, That's very frustrating. I don't like that. Getting the same error is very, very frustrating. Um, that's why I usually try to like change something. I guess I kind of cheat sometimes. Like I'll comment something out or just try to get back to where I was before. Like what is it? Control Z that undoes what you just did. Like I'll do that stuff. Like I try to always just keep pushing forward. Just keep pushing forward. Um, all right. So I don't want to get lost in what I'm doing right now. Tokenizing arrow file. All right. Tokenizing. I think I'm gonna try this one. Nope. Wait. Yes. Hold on. It's gonna give me the arrow file. Yes. Alright, give me a quick second. I had to like change up. So I have like a bunch of different notebooks saved essentially to help me train the model. And so that's kind of what I'm going through right now. I'm changing it now for this new data set. And the only thing I'm kind of worried about, let me see what this thing is looking like. It's the saved tokenizer. What is that? Saved tokenizer. I'm gonna use it because it worked before. Well, okay, cool. Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna close that. If I showed you that, it was just like essentially going through and explaining how it's gonna tokenize the doc. And then I'm changing this to, what was the name of this new thing that I just did? Mini alpaca clean dot. I'm just gonna copy and paste that actually. And the worst also too is like a type error. Like, well actually that's, hold on, what am I trying to explain? I have a type error right here actually. Those are, what am I trying to explain? Like a stupid human error, that's what I'm trying to explain. Like, you didn't write something right, or you put an exclamation point when it should have been a period or something like that, like syntax error, but like not a syntax error that shows up as a syntax error. When it shows like a type error, like you can solve that quickly. But it's something that like maybe there was something like compatibility, like with Google Cloud. With Google Cloud, there's different like, so you can deploy things live through Google Cloud. You can do them in like the emulator, or you can do them like, locally. But each one of those setups has its own thing, and so like doing something dumb in that, where like you're trying to deploy it live, but you're still in the configuration for doing it local, and you just forgot to change this one thing or something like that, and you're sitting there struggling in live. Why is this not working? And again, it's a human error that you just drawn a blank on. So like, yeah, so those are really irritating too, because you'll spend hours on those until you realize like, oh, this is something that I messed up on. Like in Flutter, there's a whole thing where you have to like structure it with the model. I don't feel like pulling out the Flutter thing right now, but hold on a second, just to explain what I'm talking about. Let's do a new window. Open a folder. Wait, hold on. Let me see. I should have one of the Flutter. Let me do this last one. So like, you can't see this, but I'll try to write it down for a second. Let me see. So like in Flutter, you have where are the models? Like all these like user models, or different kinds of models, and I was always getting like weird errors from, what's the line? I don't see it in here. This might not be user model. Which one of these models that I'm looking for? I'm drawing a blank on this. This isn't what. Oh wait, hold on. It's not a model. It's a widget. That's what I'm talking about. Like widgets and models. And this isn't even Python, so I'm sorry. I'm just giving like an example. Where's the code? Wait. Is this it? I'm drawing such a blank right now. Where? Oh. No. This is similar to what I was having an issue with, but for whatever reason, This does not look right. But anyways, like stuff like this thing, like I would get, like if this is an exclamation point, this is gonna give you an error, but the error would be like something about none type. I have it written down or something like that. But I remember being on that error days, if not weeks, because like when you open up when you're doing it locally on the app, it like it shuts down the app entirely when you went to that like the user profile or something like that. So debugging it was like I just couldn't figure it out because the error would just say like something about none type string, and I just remember that taking a long. So like stuff like that is frustrating when it's like the needle in the haystack error, and especially like the error that you just don't see. Is one thing if you change the code and then you get an error. It's one thing if you change the code and then get an error, but it's a totally different thing if you didn't really change anything or like, yeah, exactly. Like something's missing, a definition is missing, like a value is missing, a parameter is missing, an argument is missing. Like again, like you said, it is fun. It is fun. I do like the puzzle solving part of it. I don't like. I'm not getting. I'm not saying that's not fun at all. I'm just saying that like it's almost like in anything. I think like when it's good, it's good. When it's bad, it's really bad. When it's good, coding is awesome because it's like you're materializing your dreams. When it's bad and you're just like hitting your head against the wall, that's very very frustrating. All right, like I'm gonna try this out because I'm relatively sure this is how it's supposed to go. So I'm gonna try this. With this new like this new smaller data set. I Okay, let's go. All right. Okay. So far so good. And an error. And an error. And I don't know. I'm getting like an error. And similarly, like I'm thinking that yeah, I feel so far away from where I'm trying to get to right now. It's like I see it, I know where I'm trying to go to, but I'm very, very far away from that. And I'm talking about like technologically, not like, I don't know, spiritually or something like that. I'm talking about like the steps from where I'm at right now to get to where I'm looking to go. There's a lot of them, but one at a time and all that stuff. I guess it's just kind of frustrating. You don't want to feel like you're going around in circles, and that's I don't necessarily feel like that right now at all. I don't. I feel close to that, but I don't feel that 100%. But I guess I feel close enough that it kind of like bugs me because, but I have been in the right. Like my decisions have been based on being patient and trying to do things the right way and making sure that the model is being built from scratch, from the ground up. I didn't want to use anything that was public source. I didn't want to do anything that was public source, public domain, or open source. I wanted to build it from scratch. So I'm doing that. I know it's taking longer. I don't like that, but that is what it is. The way that I'm doing it now is a way that's built to scale because it's going through PyTorch. Daddy ear. Going through PyTorch and TorchServe. Okay, we'll see if this works. Okay, that worked. Okay, saving a data set. V3. Loading it up. Configuring the model. Inputting the tokenizer. Checking the max length. Configuring the model again. Inputting the IDs. Checking sure to make sure the IDs are all within range. Alright, now this is actually training the model. Okay, that was not that bad. If this holds, if this holds, if this holds, all right, let's that was not bad. That was actually not bad. I actually am very encouraged by that. That was actually not that bad. That was very encouraging, at least for me. That was not so encouraging. But this is encouraging. So, let me see if this is still downloading. It is still downloading. Alright, so what I would love right now, this is probably going to take a bit of time. This training on the smaller data set. This is probably going to take a bit of time. I wanted to I was gonna say I wanted to talk about Taylor Swift, but I know that's just such a crazy transition. I don't have the thing on how to do the overlay. I wish I knew how to do that. I just don't. I'd love to like put up the article or something so I can at least show what I'm talking about. But, can you see this? If I like, I could try it. Let me see here. I thought this was so cool. Hold on a second. Buys back music. Like I said, I don't have the. I wish I knew how to do that thing with the overlay or whatever. I just don't right now. And I should test this offline, like off stream, and know how to do that. So then in real time I could do that, but I don't. And so while this is training and while I'm kind of just trying to waste some time, I'm just gonna talk about this article real quick because I thought it was interesting. I want to read it. Oh, I'm gonna pull it up. Let's see. I'll just do the AP news. Like I said, I wish I had the overlay thing. All you're seeing right now is just like a bunch of. Okay, cool. Maybe this is a little bit better. Maybe read it along. You see this headline? Taylor Swift has regained control of all her music, buys back her first 6 albums. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I love that. I want to read the article. Hopefully, it's not too long. Taylor Swift has regained control of her entire body of work. In a lengthy note, I'm not going through the note stuff. In recent years, Swift has been re-recording and releasing her first 6 albums in an attempt to regain control of her music. The pop star said she purchased her catalog of recordings, originally released from Big Machine Records, from their Big Machine Records, by the way. Definitely not a shady outfit at all. From their most recent owner, the private equity firm Shamrock Capital. Much better name, by the way. I love Ken Shamrock. That's that guy. I'm not saying he's associated. I just like the name Shamrock Capital. It's hard. The best things ever been mine. The best things that have ever been mine finally actually are. Oh, that's nice of her to say. All right, where's the part? So her re-recordings were instigated by Scooter Braun's purchase and sale of her early catalog and represents Swift's effort to control her own song. Now, I'll be honest with you, I followed this, but like loosely. But the reason why I'm bringing it up is because I love this for creators. You know, we deal with these larger corporations, and I get it. You sign a contract that maybe doesn't give you ownership, and then a company buys it, and then they sell it. Okay, that's all quote unquote legal. But I do think a larger conversation should be had, and I think that this brings it up about what a creator's rights truly should be. Because history is littered with all these creators, specifically in the music industry, but I mean, I think it happens in anything, with all these creators who essentially have their rights exploited because at the time they were essentially signing away, they were creating something, and they either knew or didn't know how much value it has, but the money that they were able to get in that real time, was enough for them to be willing to sacrifice whatever long-term gain that piece of IP would have. And I totally get that on all sides. It's like if I buy something from you at such and such amount, if it becomes worth a lot more, then it shouldn't matter whether or not you owned it or you created it. I totally get that. At the same time, this scenario with what happened with T Sweezy, it's a little weird. Like I said, it was a company, their record label, and then I guess like they sold it to Scooter Braun or something like that, and then he sold it to another firm. Like, so um, it's not like the company that she recorded the music to is then licensing it out and then doing stuff with it. Like that company sold it, and then I guess that person then sold it, and so then now she's had to buy it back. And like again, from a creator standpoint, it's like, well, what really should my rights be? And what I'm really trying to get at, and I'm not saying this is what should happen. I'm just like spitballing this out there. But like, if I create a thing and then now it's out in the market to be sold, I should have like some type of first rights to buy that. And if I'm being honest, I should be able to buy it at some type of a discount than other people in the market because I own it, because I created it. Like I get it, like, and I think that maybe that old way is a bit antiquated in terms of like, I don't think you can treat music or IP or software or whatever just like I don't know, like a cake or something like that you make, like a tangible product. Like if I go make you a bunch of desks and I sell you a desk, and then you go want to sell that desk to somebody, I don't want to have to come back and be able to buy my desk back. Maybe if it's a really nice desk, I don't know. Maybe this includes in that. But my point being that like this Taylor Swift thing, I think it's highlighting something much deeper, and I don't want to ignore that. For whatever reason, I wanted to make sure I talked about that because it's something important. Because you see it a lot with people who are creators selling their rights, licensing their rights, losing their material, and then at the end of the day, they don't have someone that's really on my mind right now is Patrice O'Neal. If you're familiar with him, he's a comedian from back in the day. Like Patrice O'Neal has all this material on YouTube. I mean, hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of comedic material from Patrice O'Neal on YouTube. And I always wonder, like, is his estate getting any money from this? Did he own any of this stuff? And I don't know the answer to that. I'm assuming that the answer would be no. So again, going to like a person like Taylor Swift, it's just by God's grace that she's been so successful that she has the money to be able to buy that back. But not a lot of artists have been able to do that. So that it's somewhat frustrating because it's like, dang, Obviously, we're happy for her and anybody else that, like, because that story, people have done that before. Who else bought their rights back? I almost want to. I don't want to use that example. I'm not going to use that example. Never mind. See the minefield? Here's a minefield. I just jumped right over that. But that's not. That has happened where people can do that. They can buy their rights back. But again, my point is, it's like, and we're talking about America too. So like, I'm not. I don't want to. I'm not getting into the laws of what happens overseas. I'm just talking about like American law. Like, I think we have something that's intrinsically tied to creativity here. And I think, especially when we want to not only promote people creating, but also protect them when they create. Because other people that would want to create see that and say, like, okay, well, the government, the world, the society is protecting people that create, so it's good for me to create. Because I know that if I create something in the society, it's going to be protected. That somebody's not going to be able to just sell my work and then I'm not going to be able to buy it back, even if I'm able to, like, offer legal tender or offer a comparable offer. And that's kind of what I'm getting at. It's like in basketball, yeah, they have restricted free agency where like a player can go to the free agent market, but then if they get by the way, I'm only wasting time because this thing is just training right now. It's not done, I don't think. I'm gonna keep it on this so I can tell when it's done. And if they have where like if a free agent goes to the market, they can go get another offer from another team, but then your team, the one that has the restricted free agent tag, can then match that to then keep that player. I think like that would be something that makes more sense for artists. It's like, all right, I'm gonna sell you the rights to my music, but at the same time, it's more of like a restricted sale, meaning that you don't then have the right to just go sell to whomever for anything you want. You can go get an offer from whoever, but then I can also match it. And maybe if, depending upon the artist that you are, you can, cook in some type of discount or something like that for yourself. Like, I just really feel strongly about specifically this situation with Taylor Swift and just like, well, not necessarily specifically about the situation with Taylor Swift, but just like the the case study of this situation because it's happened so many times over such a long period of time. Hold on a second. Guys, keep it down. They didn't even hear that. Anya! Anya! Keep it down. Alright, so this is still training. I'm still kind of wasting time. I pretty much ran out of everything I wanted to say about this Taylor Swift thing. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I just thought that was so cool. Congrats to her. That's awesome. I would love to see more artists, more people that are creating to be able to get their IP back, especially if it was sold in the way that like they wanted it back. I mean, it's business and it's also sentimental. So I trust me, as someone who's, you know what I mean. I totally understand how you can wrap up both your emotions and your love and the thing that you can create, but then there's also like a real monetary value to that. She wants the value of those songs because they're clearly valuable. They're valuable enough for her to have gone and re-recorded them. So, all right, that was pretty much it on my Taylor Swift rant. But I'm pretty happy for her. That's pretty cool. I love that. That's awesome. I hope more creators, people that maybe are in similar situations, are able to buy back their stuff or get their material back. And then I would say, if anybody's listening to this, you're a creator and you're faced with a situation like this where you're signing contracts, especially that give your rights away, maybe think about the clause that I just explained. That it might be a good idea to cook something type of like a right of first refusal in, so that if the people that are owning your music or owning your material, if they then want to sell it to a third party, they have to give you right of first refusal or something like that. And I don't think that's a ridiculous clause. It doesn't cost them any more money or anything like that. It only just limits their ability to go sell it to anybody that they want to without giving you the opportunity to buy it back. And I think that's something that's fair and it's something that can be easily cooked into a contract without really like disrupting negotiations. That's just my opinion. That sounded kind of smart. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm just kidding. So this thing is still training. It's taking a bunch of time. How long have I been streaming right now? My kids are just, you hear them. We already went to the park, by the way, so I already like got out that energy from them. Pause this. All right, I've been streaming for almost 2 hours now, but I've been trying to make sure I stream for at least 3 hours. But this is training. You can see it down here. Oh, you can't see that. My bad. Can you see that? See this? Scrolling? You see that? Scrolling? You see that? So this is training right now. So there's really nothing to do. This is downloading, so the larger data set that I'm going to start using is, or one of them is going to start. The larger data set that I'm going to start using is downloading. The smaller data set that I'm using right now is training the smaller model so I can test to make sure that the formatting is okay and starts printing out better results. And I just talked about Taylor Swift, so there's nothing really else for me to do right now. I have some stuff that I want to work on. Like I'm working on doing kind of like a wealth consulting kind of offering on the platform so that people can book me for like 30 minutes and then for like monthly fees, deja vu, something like that. So I'm gonna work on putting that in there. I don't really like coding on camera, I'm not gonna lie to you. So I'm probably going to do that offline so I can just kind of like be more free to think. Let me think here. What else is going on? So yeah, that's what I'm gonna work on. Is the subscription thing that I just talked about, because I need to work on that anyways. And I don't necessarily feel like doing that. Well, this computer is not really set up for that. I use my laptop for that, for like front end coding, mainly like the app and the website. I use this mainly for the model. I use this computer for the model. Yeah, so this is training. I mean, I could just put the camera on this thing and just let it keep training, but it is kind of boring. But even if I put it on the screen, it's not gonna stay. Like if I put it here, but if I put it here, it's just gonna go by. There's nowhere that I could put this so that like the screen would keep updating. You would just see the training happening. I'm not saying that would be really important, but I think I am going to keep it on there though, just to have it on. And what I'm going to do is try to come back, and then if this works, I should be able to test out the model pretty easily. I should be able to test out the model pretty easily. Alright, so I'm probably going to bring the camera back down. So I do watch the stream. That's how I know that stuff is finished. So that's what I will do. Stream. 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 Alright, so I'm gonna put this on here so you can at least see this when it changes. Okay. Alright, so as before, we want to see a number here. Can I zoom in? Is that a thing? Yeah, I can zoom in. Let's see. Alright, so we want to see this turn into a number. When this turns into a number, the training is done. You can't, still really can't see it, but let's see. Can I zoom in some more? Zoom in some more? Zoom in some more? Okay, cool. Right here. This one. When this thing turns into a number, then we know it's over there. So, just chill. Alright. I'm gonna go. I can put this up a little bit so you can see more. I don't know if that'll help or not. actually, what I just did. I don't think that was smart. Oh wait, never mind. No, that was good. It's weird how small that looks versus like it's really big right here. All right, so I'm gonna let that chill. This is loading. This is training. I'm gonna go take care of the kids a little bit and all that. All right. I'll probably check back in. Hopefully when this is done. All right. this is just gonna take a bit of time more, I feel like. And I don't want to keep streaming. So I feel like you do what you love. What's this? Okay, I'm not gonna promise that because I don't have to hold to that. I'm gonna do my best to figure out how to do the overlay thing so I can put up the stuff at the same time. I'm pretty sure I actually could figure out a way to put these monitors on here so that you could see what I'm seeing more clearly. I'll write a note. Improve visual setup. I will learn the overlay and see if I can connect the monitors that I'm looking at here to that in some way. Alright? That could be cool. Because then you could just put the camera on me, and then I could figure out a way to just put these in there. So then I wouldn't have to worry about them being on the screen like that. Alright? So that's what I'll do. In the meantime, between time. はい、どうぞありがとうございます。はい、お願いします。はい、すみません。はい、はい、はい、ありがとう、ありがとう、こんばんは。はい、はい、はい、ありがとう、お願いします。はい、はい、はい、どうぞ、大丈夫ですか。はい、はい、はい、名前はナシードです。はい、はい、はい、ありがとうございます。はい、はい、はい。